African Americans have called our nation to greatness.
The African American community stood up again.
From our earliest days, Black history has been American history. We're the scientists and inventors who helped unleash American innovation.
Racism, division, bigotry. Hatred in the news, hatred in the politics, hatred in the social media. It's like the land of the free and the home of the brave has become the American breeding ground for terrorism. And who's to blame for these monsters? I already know. Many people would want to blame Trump. But is it really his fault? All he did was say what was already on the American heart. In this instance of domestic terrorism, we have one life that was taken in California while at church. We have 10 others that were taken in New York while grocery shopping. We have an 18-year-old domestic terrorist that buys an assault rifle and body armor. But no one raised the red flag. He had time to sit down and write a 180-page manifesto, but no one wondered what he was doing. Contrast that with a story from a few years ago. A child was shot dead as he played with a toy in a park. Another incident had a man being gunned down in Walmart because he took a BB gun out of a box. America puts a lot of time, money, and energy sending troops into other countries to prosecute crimes against humanity. Meanwhile, they leave their own people unprotected to be devoured by the monsters they created. America is a monster that eats its own babies. It's bad enough that the government isn't doing anything about it. What's worse is that Americans have become numb to it, as if it's a natural occurrence. We pay taxes for our protection. We vote for our representatives, and we bury our innocent. A small reminder that hatred is given safe harbor. Why are Hispanics still recovering from being called rapists and murderers? Why are Asian people still being blamed for events that had nothing to do with them? Why did it take an act of Congress for black people to be allowed to wear the hair that they grew on their heads? White supremacy isn't the problem. America is the problem. Americans have bred a culture of fear. Men that are afraid to stand up for themselves. People that turn their heads because they are afraid to get involved. Social media that has made men too afraid to even speak to women. So they leave them to fend for themselves in a violent world. Fear, ignorance, and division. Is that the America you want? To all the white supremacists and racists out there, hear me and hear me well. We have no intentions of replacing you. I don't even understand why you would think something so dumb. I plan on riding this black thing right on out. Did you ever think that you are the source of your own problems? Every time you commit an act of terror, you bring Americans closer. Your violence doesn't instill fear, it removes it. We are not afraid of you. Black people are not afraid of you. Americans are not afraid of you. It doesn't matter what skin you're in, as long as you stand for what's right and you stand together.
Take action that matters. That's how you make a difference.